All right, guys, what's going on? My name is Luis. Today is May 26, 2020, and welcome to the Grand Supreme News Channel. Guys, we got some breaking news updates, and I want to show you the first article, and there's another part. Pentagon is releasing photos of Russian jets in Libya. Slam Syria-style interference. So here's the photo. Here's another one right here. Okay, so there's a second part. There's a breaking news updates that was released from RT News. Let me see if I could take you there really quick. Okay, so RT News is saying something different. Moscow denies U.S. generals' claim of Russian missionary jets in Libya. Is this AFRICOM new worse than ICE moment? So once again, for those of you that don't know, RT News is a Russian news that's controlled by the Russian government. So they are basically against the U.S. and Israel and stuff like that. But we're going to see what's going on here, guys. So this story is going around. There's an aircraft. Well, the Russian aircraft were seen in Libya. So we're going to see what's really going on. We're going to get to all this breaking news updates. But before I start, guys, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends, families, and loved ones. I appreciate the love and support. And for those of you that want to support this channel, again, the link is in the description box. So let's see what's going on here. The Western news is saying something and Russian news is saying something else. So who's telling the truth? Well, once again, they have satellite imagery and stuff like that. But again, we're going to see what's going on here, guys. So Turkey's growing official military role in Libya supporting the Tripoli government of national accord has long been documented, but Russia's role less so. In the past month, missionaries from Russian contractor firm Wagner Group have been reported fighting for Haftar's LNA. That has changed apparently as initial reports that Russia recently transferred multiple MiG-29 fighters along with Su-24 jets have been confirmed, with the Pentagon releasing a series of photos showing the fighters in Libya. Okay, so can this be true? Well, once again, guys, when it comes to these nations, and the U.S. is involved, and Russia and Turkey and other nations, it could be true. 100%, I believe it could be true. So this is all biblical warning battles that's written in the Gospel of Luke of rumors of wars and kingdom against kingdom, nation against nations. So this after Bloomberg reported a week ago at least 6 MiG-29 and 2 Su-24 aircraft escorted by 2 Russian Air Force Su-35 have arrived in Libya. So that was there was more than one aircraft. There was multiple aircraft involved in this. So the aircraft was believed transferred from Miamin Air Base in Syria, where Haftar's Libyan National Army said they will be used against Turkish targets in all occupied cities, again underscoring the expanding nature of what's become another international proxy war in the Mideast, North Africa region. So the timing of the Pentagon release of the photo series is especially interesting given President Donald Trump's weekend phone call with Turkey President Erdogan, wherein President Trump slammed foreign interference in Libya, though it wasn't clear if the statement was geared towards Erdogan himself, given Turkey's deep military involvement, or in reference to Moscow's greater role in assisting Haftar. So, once again, Libya is, again, guys, Turkey wants to go to Libya and stuff like that. And from what I heard, the people, again, the convenience store that I go to, there's a whole bunch of Egyptians that own that area. They don't want Turkish military getting involved in Libya because it's way too close to their country, Egypt. So it just goes to tell you guys that even though when it comes to this crisis of this huge event that's happening around the world and the news media is talking about it 24/7, there is biblical battle warning that's happening at the same time that cannot be ignored. Now, I believe, yeah, there's a possibility that Russia might have sent their aircraft over in Libya. And once again, guys, nations will try, this include the U.S., all nations will lie. Every nation is going to say, well, that wasn't us. So once again, the Pentagon is confirming that the Russian aircraft appeared in Libya. So President Donald Trump reiterated concern over worsening foreign interference in Libya and the need for rapid de-escalation, White House spokesman Jude Deary said in a statement over the call. So a U.S. Africa command press release alleged the Russian jets entered to the country to support Wagner Group forces on the ground after further they were repainted to camouflage their Russian origin. Huh. Well, what's going to happen is they're going to have something's going to happen to that airspace. They're going to keep a close lookout in Libya airspace. So the MiG on the ground at Al Jufwa, 19 May 20, grid 29, 1916, and all these type of weird numbers. So there we go. You are about to see the largest aerial campaign in Libyan history in the coming hours. GNA Security Chief Bashaga said a number of MiG-29s and Su-24s reached Haftar from Russian-controlled Syrian base. So Russia is clearly trying to tip the scales in its favor in Libya, just like I saw them doing in Syria. They are expanding their military footprint in Africa using government-supported missionary groups like Wagner, said AFRICOM Commander Army General Stephen Townsend. So here's another picture. I'm surprised that this aircraft wasn't shut down. When it comes to, interfering in someone else's airspace, it will be taken down. For too long, Russia has denied the full extent of its involvement in the ongoing Libyan conflict, but there is no denying it now. We watch a Russian flew fourth-generation jet fighters to Libya. And by the way, this is coming out from Zero Hedge. And Zero Hedge is like, again, like RT News. So every step of the way, neither the LNA nor private military companies can operate, and sustain these fighters without state support they are getting from Russia. Russia has employed state sponsor Wagner in Libya to conceal its direct role and to afford Moscow plausible deniability of its malign action, the AFRICOM statement said. So the new Libya Conflict 2.0 presents an interesting case study in involving a confused U.S. policy in the region. While the U.S. still officially supports the UN-recognized government in Tripoli, President Donald Trump himself, on multiple occasions over the past year, has praised Haftar's ability to secure the oil. State Department official also last fall met with Haftar political team, though it is yet unclear the degree of U.S. LNA potential behind-the-scenes cooperation. However, the Pentagon statement was clear in condemning any level of Russian involvement in the theater. All right, so once again, the U.S. AFRICOM tweeted out that the world heard Mr. Haftar declare he was about to unleash a new air campaign that will be hashtag Russian mercenary pilots flying Russian supply aircraft to bomb Libyans. It should be noted that Haftar was a long-time CIA asset and U.S. dual citizen while he spent over the 2 decades in exile living in Virginia during the last part of Gaddafi's rule. Currently, Haftar army has suffered major setback as Turkey ramps up supports its Tripoli ally. Give me a second here, guys. I'm going to go straight to the next article. So Russian involvement in Mani is understandable to anyone familiar with recent Russian history. All right, I'm not going to read all that. Okay. So once again, people here are saying, really? So it is that the U.S. was involved. It is a different for Russians, and by the way, the Turks. Well, again, so if the U.S. do it, many people complain it, but when Russia do it, many people are going to say, well, if the U.S. could do it and the Turks, why can't Russia? It just, again, it just, too long doesn't make it right. All right. So let's go straight to this one here. So Moscow denies U.S. generals' claim of Russian missionary jets in Libya. Is this AFRICOM new worse than blank moment? So reports of repainted Russian fighter jets being sent to bomb Libya have nothing to do with reality. Again, this is coming out from Moscow. Reports of repainted Russian fighter jets being sent to bomb Libya have nothing to do with reality, Moscow said in response to the latest sensational claims by U.S. Africa Command about alleged Russian involvement in the region. The accusation that Russia sent combat aircraft to Libya does not correspond to reality. This is coming out from Andrei Krasov, first deputy chairman of the State Duma Defense Committee, told Interfax on Tuesday. Russia's position is well known. We are in favor of ending the bloodshed in Libya. We urge all parties to the conflict to refrain from using weapons and sit at the negotiation table, which I do agree. Krasov was addressing the claim by AFRICOM earlier in the day, featuring a series of grainy photos of MiG and Sukhoi fighters and a claim by General Charles Townsend that they watched as Russia flew fourth-generation jets fighters to Libya every step of the way. The AFRICOM press release that quoted Townsend, however, was for more cautions about the claim. Well, the problem is then who those aircraft belong to. That's a big question. Those aircraft, who they belong to. I mean, you can't assume and say, hey, it's the U.S. or it's Israel or this. You can't. Those aircraft belong to someone. So it said here, saying instead that the planes were recently deployed to Libya in support of Wagner Group private military contractors and are likely to provide close air support likewise. It is assessed that the planes came from Russia via Syria, where they were repainted to camouflage their Russian origin. Townsend's own follow-up to the rewatch claim, and likewise a qualification, as he say neither the Libyan National Army nor private companies can operate and sustain these fighters without state support they are getting from Russia. AFRICOM did not specify how allegedly repainting very distinctive planes will camouflage their origin or offer any evidence for their assessments. So who's telling the truth here? Let me skip that name, guys. Let me say Fadi or Fadi, a minister in a Tripoli-based government of National Accord, GNA, which is fighting the LNA for control of Libya, claims last week in an interview with Bloomberg that at least 6 MiG-29 and 2 Sokyo Su-24s arrived in Libya from the Kemenem Air Base in Syria, where the Russians' expeditionary force is based. So last month, unnamed AFRICOM official angling for a return of U.S. forces to Libya insinuated through a friendly Washington reporter that Russian presence there will be more dangerous to NATO than that of Islamic blank T. I'm not going to say the full name, guys. Truly apologize. Though that quote made for an explosive headline, it actually belongs to reporter himself. Russia is not interested in what is best for the Libyan people, but are working to achieve their own strategic goals instead. Is yet another assessment from Tuesday's statement by AFRICOM, which goes on to claim that destabilizing actions by Russia in Libya will make worse the migration crisis affecting Europe. U.S. insistence that Russia is destabilizing Libya is baffling, however, since it was the NATO regime change operation in 2011 that overthrew the government of colony Muammar Gaddafi and turned the most prosperous African country into a chaotic wasteland fought over by warlords ever since. Marshal Khalifa Haftar, who leads the LNA and is allegedly propped up by Wagner in Russia, famously defected to the U.S. in the 1980s and lived near the CIA headquarters for decades before returning to Libya after 2011. Russia and Turkey, a NATO member which has openly backed the GNA and sent regular troops to Tripoli earlier this year, have organized a series of negotiations between Haftar and the Tripoli government earlier this year. But the GNA refused to meet with the LNA leader directly. Okay, so Pentagon is saying one thing and Moscow is saying one thing. All we know is aircraft Su-27 supposedly repainted to camouflage was seen in Libya. It was photos being posted, and now you have these two, Pentagon and Moscow, saying one thing, and it just goes to tell you again, guys, that crises do go on in these nations, and at the end of the day, it's basically a lot of lies going on. So once again, I'm gonna have to do some more research on this. Basically, there's an aircraft. Who it belongs to? They are saying the Russian. The Russian is like, it's not ours. It's not us. It's not us. So we don't know. All we know is that there is videos and footage and all these type of stuff happening. So once again, guys, leave comments down below when it comes to the rumors of wars and kingdom against kingdom, nation against nations. It's just a matter of time when things start to escalate. Biblical battle is on the horizon. It's rising, guys. It's rising. And biblical war is imminent. It will come. So, at the very end of the article, I always give my own thoughts and opinion. But on this one, guys, I just don't know. I don't know. Moscow is saying it's not them. Pentagon is saying it's them. You have a general commander in Africa saying that it's the Russians. So there's a possibility that, yeah, it could be Russia. It could be Russia. So it just at the very end, you can't trust no one. You can't trust no one. Always put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ. That's why Jesus left something very important. There will be uprising wars and fearful sights to come. Nation will be in chaos, misery, and distress. There's going to be so many crises going on. Jesus Christ mentioned this. Jesus Christ mentioned it, and there's going to be a lot of fearful events to come. So at the end of the day, you got to put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ. Plain and simple, guys. So leave comments down below. I want to read your comments when it comes to this one. Again, I'm not backing the U.S. I'm not backing Russia here. I'm just giving you guys the story, again, the breaking news updates. And these are the rumors of wars that is all written in Bible prophecy. So once again, leave comments down below. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, Luis Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, P.O. Box number 2, 3432 U.S. Highway 19, Holiday, Florida 34691. And again, for those of you that want to give your life to Christ, email me. My email is in the description box. And for those of you that want to support this channel, again, we have the PayPal link in the description box and also the Patreon link in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, guys. God bless. Give your life to Jesus Christ and get baptized. We are living in tough time. Till next time later. Peace.